Damon Stoudamire joins us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 93.7 FM. Good morning, Coach. Thank you for joining us here in the locker room.
What's going on? Appreciate y'all having me.
Did you start off the morning with push-ups? I mean, you have to be the most well-conditioned coach in basketball right now. You're not messing around and putting bad stuff in your body.
Let me tell you something. My son told me about 2 months ago, Pops, man, your LBs is getting up, man. You're not looking the same. I didn't take it personal. I just went harder.
There you go.
You got to take it personal from your son, right?
How much did you get to enjoy the Olympics and and basketball and everything else, women's and men's? And have you ever been a part of something like that?
Well, I did get a chance to enjoy it. I watched a lot of the basketball. Everything else was a little sporadic, but the basketball, of course, I watched, and so it was really good. It's crazy to see, and I think that everybody's talking about the other countries are catching up. I look at it as some of those countries have been playing together for so long, and the camaraderie that goes without being spoken, that it means something in the Olympics, and we're putting together teams in literally a month to try to compete against the best. And, I was fortunate enough to play way back when, before they started having the NBA guys come in. I played in the World Games, the Goodwill Games, and, was able to compete on an international level, which is a lot of fun.
At this point, even to your team, you talk about now, talk about what that team looks like. I told a story earlier about my college football team where by the time I was a senior, we had seniors across the board that had been there for 4 or 5 years, and it makes such a difference when you get on the field or the court. And talk about your squad and what it looks like as far as veteran leadership and the sophomores and juniors and seniors that are there. Well,
we obviously our two best players coming back. Nate George and Brian Dongo. They're I'm looking for them to make a jump, and I will say this, going from freshman to sophomore year is hard. That making that jump now, you're on the scouting report. You're jumping off the page. You're not surprising anyone.
Right.
But the biggest thing for us is we got great senior leadership. We have Javian McCullum came in from Oklahoma. He was their leading scorer, and he's been really vocal. I think that him competing against Nate every day, not only is going to help Nate, but I think we'll have one of the best backcourts in the country. Luke O'Brien came from Colorado. And the thing about Luke is a great shooter. He's a little better off the dribble than I think people will anticipate. But the biggest thing for me is he's a winner, and he's played with good players. What goes without said is he coming from Colorado, three of the top 42 picks in this year's draft were from Colorado, and that's someone who knows what that looks like. So he'll help us out a lot. So we really added those things.
Georgia Tech head basketball coach Damon Stoudamire joining us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 93.7 FM.
Coach, one of the most important things obviously is recruiting, and I'm looking ahead already to the 2025 class. You guys are ranked third with the commitments that you have already. What's been the message when you walk into a recruit's house to sell the Georgia Tech program again?
Well, I think we had, record-wise, it didn't look like we wanted it, but I think that we had enough good wins and we built great momentum that people can see that we're coming. And so when I go into homes, I tell them to come be a part of something special. We're in a great city, and we're in a great conference. And so I think that the last piece of it obviously ties into me. And, to be quite frank with you, once we get the wins on track, I feel like I can go in any home in America against anybody, any coach in America, and recruit the same players.
Your NBA pedigree and the transfer portal, when you put those two together, this has been a point guard institute. When you talk Kenny Anderson and Travis Best and some of the great guard plays, everybody who comes in wants a shot to get looked at the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work to your advantage when you have the transfer portal where somebody might have a situation not work out for them, but Georgia Tech could be the right spot for them?
Well, I think, opportunity and minutes is what a kid is looking for, and, that's what I have. And I think that the biggest thing is I play everybody. It doesn't matter, 0-star, 5-star, and I've proven that with Nate George and buy. And I think that those two guys having success really helped me. I play freshman, and then when you look at portal guys, you have an opportunity to come in and compete and have a big impact on our program.
We were having a philosophical conversation. Steph had a nutty at the end of the gold medal game, which he's done for his entire career. All time, if you're starting a basketball team and you get one point guard to choose, who are you taking, Steph or Magic? I'm putting you on the spot.
Magic Johnson?
Yes, Magic. The only Magic.
The only Magic. I gotta take Magic.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I can go sentimental, but people will be like, "Man, why?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
I want to ask you too, Damon, real quick. Dual sport athletes. Do you encourage it, discourage it? And I know it's a year-round sport, baseball, basketball, and you know all those type things. Do you look at an athlete a little bit different when they play different multiple sports, or just specific basketball?
I don't. I think that I like the days when guys play multiple sports. I thought that meant something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Multi-sport athletes, to me, have always been the best athletes. You got Charlie Ward. Mm-hmm. He was one of the best athletes. And just think, even yourself, Charlie Ward plays in this era. He arguably could have been the number one pick in football and the first round pick in basketball, which we would have probably would never see. Right. So, no, I love multi-sport athletes.
Well, we thank you for your time, Coach. You had some big wins in North Carolina, Duke, Mississippi State. You had some top 25 guys you knocked off. Certainly looking to build on last year's success, and we'll be there supporting you. And we look forward to next time we get to see you. Basketball won't be too far after football gets started.
No doubt. Thank you. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Coach Damon Stoudamire, head basketball coach here at Georgia Tech, here in the locker room on the Fan 680 93.7 FM.